Hallo ihr Lieben, wir fangen heute an mit einem neuen Kapitel und wir machen das als Videostunde und zwar, weil natürlich die 10-Klässler ihren EOC heute schreiben. Wir machen Geschichte und Gegenwart, History and Presence, now Presence being 2002. In diesem Kapitel lernt ihr Passiv, Vergangenheitsformen als Adjektiv, das sind natürlich dann die Partizipien genau, also geworfen, geschmissen, getanzt und so weiter. Und wir lernen Wo-Wort-Kombinationen, so ähnlich wie Da-Wort-Kombinationen, davon, dafür, so then wofür, wovon. So, hi everyone, we are starting a new chapter today. It's going to be a video lesson because of the EOC on Thursday. So if you are in the EOC on Thursday, you're watching it today. If you're not, you'll watch this on Thursday and you have a day off on Tuesday. All of the vocab for this is already on Quizlet. It is titled Treffpunkt Deutsch, Kapitel 11, Punkt 1, Wortschatz 1, so Wortschatz 11.1. So find Kapitel 11 and then number 1. Let me show you what it looks like. It looks like this. So ignore the 6e, you're not going to have that, but Treffpunkt Deutsch, Kapitel 11, Wortschatz 1. That is what it's going to look like. And it has a lot of historical terms like Alliierten, the Allies, Bürger, citizen. All those words are important in this chapter because it deals a lot with German history. Okay, in this chapter we are covering passive voice. Let me add that to this to make sure that it's clear. Passive voice, if that's in English, of course. Then Vergangenheitsformen als Adjektiv, that's past participles as adjectives. That's why I gave you examples. And Wo-Kombinationen or Wo-Compounds. So they're similar to the Da compounds. So that is the content of this chapter. Now let's get started. So the first content thing that this chapter talks about, beside the actual history, which you're going to be reading on your own in a minute, is passive voice. Now passive voice in German is a conjugation of verbs, and what the passive voice does is the same as in English. It is going to move the focus of the sentence from the actual actor to the recipient. So move focus to recipient. So in English we do this a lot when we don't want to claim who did something. So for example, if let's say somebody built a bridge. So in that sentence I just said somebody built a bridge. I of course had a subject. Whoops, I can't spell in English. Somebody built a bridge. Okay, so someone built a bridge. That is an active sentence. And it's active because here's my subject and the verbs conjugated for that subject. Now if I were to say a bridge was built. Now I no longer have the actor. I no longer in any way name who was doing the building, right? So this is a passive sentence. So that's the difference between active and passive. Here's my verb, no actor. Now grammatically, the subject of the sentence becomes a bridge. Right? So there's your subject. But that subject is not the person building or the thing building. It's the thing that was built, so it's sort of like being the object. That's going to make a lot more sense once we get deeper into it. I hope that at least in English it makes sense to you guys. In German, the way we do this, and first of all, before I go on, make sure that you get this. This is not a tense. It has nothing to do with time. It is a voice. It changes whether or not a sentence is active or passive. Within passive voice, we can still have all the different tenses. So, how do we do this in German? We have the same type of structure as we do in English. It is very, very similar. So, the first sentence was, jemand hat, in this case it's past tense, but I'm just going to go with present tense, baut eine Brücke. Jemand baut eine Brücke. Someone builds, in this case, I'm using present tense, a bridge. So here's my active sentence. Here is my somebody, this is the subject. And here's my direct object, the thing that is being built. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like in passive voice. Eine Brücke wird gebaut. Passive. So what did I do? First of all, my direct object became my grammatical subject. Here's my subject of the sentence. It is still the thing being built, however, right? Still being built. The jemand completely disappeared. There is no someone anymore. And then I messed with the conjugation, right? So I completely messed up my conjugation. The infinitive of this verb is bauen, right? B-A-U-E-N, in case you can't read that. This thing back here is my past participle. Past participle. So that's the same word that we were using when we were doing the perfect tense. I know that's been a while, but that's the same past participle. So that's that last column on your verb quizzes. And then we have right here in second place and conjugated, werden as my helper verb. So how do I make the passive? If you had to tell me, if I were to ask you in a test, how do you construct the passive voice? You're going to say werden plus past participle. Werden plus your past participle. That is your passive voice. So any sentence I give you, you should be able to tell me whether or not it is active or passive, and you have to pay attention to this werden. Now, unfortunately, werden also exists as a main verb, and you guys have used it for a while. And it means to become when used as a main verb. And there's several other uses. We won't go into those right now, but to become is that main one that you have already used. So I'm going to show you guys some more sentences so that you get the focus and how this swapping happens. Der Mann kauft ein Auto. Right, here's my sentence. And then I'm going to make that das Auto wird gekauft. Oops. Das Auto wird gekauft. There's my past participle. Here's my conjugated werden. Now, werden again is conjugated for the grammatical subject of the sentence. Right? We're conjugating in second place for the actual subject of that sentence. So if I give you a sentence like die schönen Häuser, and that's plural, werden gebaut. You have to know how to conjugate for that. So it's plural, so in that case, pronoun-wise, you would use sie plural or third person plural. So werden is just werden. Sie werden gebaut. Die Toiletten, plural, geputzt. And das Spiel gespielt. So for these two, what do you guys think the helper verb needs to be? So again, we have werden plural, good. And we have wird, because that is third person singular. So you would replace it with the pronoun s. Okay, what I want you guys to do really quick, you are going to conjugate werden all the way. I'm going to write the conjugation out for you. And then you are going to do a workbook activity practicing this, and it is on page 340 of your workbook. You're going to have active sentences that you're going to switch to passive sentences. Okay, you're going to go from active to passive. In addition to that, I expect you guys to go to Quizlet and do flashcards for the current vocab, and you have to do at least one test, right? Test. So there's a button that's called test. You're going to click it. After doing the flashcards, you can do a test and see how you are from the beginning. It's going to be 20 questions, and it's going to set it up by default from you. So don't mess with the default, just stick to the 20 questions. I'm not grading you on it. I just want to see how you guys do before you've really studied the vocab. So, workbook activity, flashcards, and test. Let me write down the conjugation for you guys. There you go. There's the full conjugation. Pause the video, write it down. Make sure you pay attention because it is irregular. There's some stem changes and extra E's. All right, that's it. See you later.